I realized that when I started the rescue center, there was no other rescue center in this area. There was nothing happening for animals that were injured or sick or orphaned. So at this point, we have a staff of 4 biologists with degrees ranging from a bachelor in zoology to a PhD in primatology. Yeah, it's not just me. So I've learned a lot over time, but I continue to surround myself with people that know a lot more than I do.
This ship is for your everyday heroes of Costa Rica, and this documentary gives an inside view of such an interesting and important job at preserving wild animals in Costa Rica. So we have the scarlet macaws, the turtles, and monkeys, and we have their efforts of preserving and preventing their extinction as a species. Definitely a spectacular view when they are released into nature after their efforts to mate them and making sure they can survive out there without humans involvement. I love hearing them share about their work and their passion. They are everyday heroes indeed, and it's just quite inspiring work, very well rewarded and needed in not only in Costa Rica but everywhere else. And it's just very well a nice production team and just nature, beautiful environments. It's beautiful.
Everyday Heroes of Costa Rica. I really loved this. I think they did a really great job of explaining what their mission is, why they're doing it, that they are really, or initially really were feeling a need because there wasn't many other or any other places that served the animal community quite like that, like in the kind of close area. I also really like how they don't focus on one thing. I think a lot of the time with conservations and with animal rescues, they tend to kind of focus on one specific animal and doing everything they can for that. I liked that this wasn't as specific, that this was more tailored to what that region or what that area, what that community really needed, and that took a few different it had several different things to focus on, like sea turtles, the monkeys, the birds. I'm blanking on the name right now, but I liked that they were kind of diversified in that sense, where it feels like this rescue is truly focused on the area and not one specific animal, and that includes kind of all of the animals in that area. And within that, obviously you have people that are more knowledgeable with one animal than another, or one circumstance than another, but I liked that overall the rescue itself was not focused on just one thing. It was focused on education, and it was focused on doing these different projects, and it was focused on really serving the area and all of the animals in need in that area, which like I said, I really enjoyed. I also like how they explained everything, and they went through to explain the area, they went through to explain a few different types of animals, why they needed help, what they were doing, what that looks like, and they explained the future and how they got their rescue up and running, also how it's sustainable with having a hotel attached to it, and how the hotel helps keep the profit, or the rescue running. And I like how detailed they were, and they kept bringing it back to the animals and the different things that they were doing, and the ways that what they were trying to achieve in the future, and what each of them kind of considered the most important parts that they were doing. And I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic.
Your Everyday Heroes of Costa Rica is what you would call a wholesome project. You can really feel the heart that both the people in the project that the short film emphasizes and advertises, and also the heart of the people that made the short film have put into their craft. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching this because it leaves you with a feeling of there are people who are doing good in this world. I think from a technical perspective, the short film, the advert would have benefited from more structure. Right now, the story is first, it's about everything all at once. Whereas I think if it was structured more like an introduction of what it is, what it was before, and then what it is now, what it's doing now, how it survived through the donation of that guy, and then going into the single animals and the people who take care of them specifically, then it would have been a bit more cohesive. But also, it's a choice. If you choose to have a more chaotic or a more dispersed storyline, then go ahead. I think it really achieves what it wants to do. Makes you feel this, yes, I want to join this. That's what I felt.
Your Everyday Heroes in Costa Rica is a short film that basically showcases an organization doing restorative work within their nature and climate. You have this gentleman who has a passion for animals and the environment and the world that we live in, and ends up finding quite solace in a place such as Costa Rica. And he notices this need, and this need to take these animals that are on the verge of extinction and bring people together to help alleviate the pressures of potentially having an animal that is no longer existent. So we get to follow all of these lives, from birds to turtles, and it's so interesting because there is a certain macaw that there's a scene in the documentary where this gentleman is speaking in front of a group of children and educating them. And in this sequence, he talks about how, like, our grandfathers grew up with these birds, but our current generation did not, because of them being on the verge of extinction. But because of their restorative work, the new generation gets to be around and see and learn about these animals. And so they get to see that with a little bit of patience and a little bit of trust and community, and finding the right people to come together and do these things. We get to find these people who are doing restorative work. So we get to follow these certain members of this community within this organization, and we get to follow their journey, whether it be the life of a turtle or a bird, and we get to have these opportunities of learning a little bit about the culture and the history, about just this beautiful pocket of the world, and this just lovely, wholesome, like, dedication to these people. You get to see the others in this space talk about each other in just a heartwarming, caring light. And you get to see this just very warm felt, dedicated team really trying to do the work to make this a better place.